Hello everybody and welcome back to another Hookster Talks, yes, live in your living room on a Thursday night. It's 16 minutes past 9. Wow, I was going to DJ mode then, yes, and next to the hit parade it's time for R. Kelly with I Can Believe, I Can Fly. No, let's not go there, Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to the show with me and Mr. TB the Bear, yes, the number one Lewis Hamilton fan. Yes, number one Lewis Hamilton fan. Oh my goodness. Hello, TB. Oh, I love you, TB. Mwah, mwah, mwah. There he is, everyone. He loves his Lulu. He loves his Lulu. Yes, he does. And well done for Lulu in the last round. Yes, 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 yes. Right, what we got in the chat? Hello, Mr. Shane Paul. Welcome to the stream. He says, "Evening, sir." Or good evening to you. What's these symbol things coming up on the screen? Are you doing that, or am I doing that, or is it doing it automatic? Oh, top fans. I've just noticed at the top there. Top fans. Look at that. Wow, sensational, sensational. Can I click on that? Does that do anything? Let's have a look. Oh, look at this. Oh, my goodness. Now, this is going to be a competition and a half now. This is. Look at this. Top fans. Number one. At number one, it's pole position to Mr. Will F1. Yes. Apparently, you've got 75 XP, Will. I don't know what you can buy with that. I've no idea. No. I don't even think that's real currency, but there you go. And in second place, it's Shane Paul with 50 XP. Well done. Look at this. Oh, I can see some competition going on here. I really can see some competition going on here. Oh dear, so that's what that is. Did that happen automatically? Because I didn't do anything. I never touched it, YouTube. I never touched it. Probably some scheme that YouTube's just started, but I like it. I do like it indeed. So, Mr. Number one fan. Will F1, welcome to the stream. He says, congratulations to Yorkshireman Oliver Rowland on winning the 2025 Formula E Championship. Yes, well done, Oliver Rowland. Does he come from Yorkshire by any chance? Is he Yorkshire? Yes. Yes, and just to tell you, Will, he almost forgot to download the Of the Weeks again. Yes. In fact, he contacted me on Facebook and said he was sitting in a hot tub when I sent them to him on, I think it was Monday night, late Monday night, I sent them to him and he says, I'm currently sitting in a hot tub. He says, can you please remind me because I'm bound to forget. Now, I just want you all to have the image of him sitting in a hot tub right now. And I know you'll probably never get that image out of your head, but there you go. So he was sitting in a hot tub and he said, can you please remind me because I think he said, I think I may forget. So that was Monday night. I left it Tuesday night because he gets 3 days to download it. 3 whole days, everyone. Yes. To download it. So Wednesday night, last night, I said to him, reminder to download. And do you know what he said? Oh, thanks, Dave. Yes, I did forget. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, he did forget. I think he was still in the hot tub, to be honest. I'm sure he was still in that hot tub. Yes. I think he just got out to download the Of the Weeks. I'm sure he did. Will says, congratulations, Don Orlando, on crashing out of ERL Brazil. Yes, indeed. Now, if anyone didn't see that race, which was probably 99.99999% of the population of the planet Earth, I actually finished second in my Monday league race. It's an all-time career high for me. My highest so far has been third. I've had quite a few thirds actually, especially on F1 2010 because I was quite competitive on that game, and I did get quite a few third places for that. So yeah, that's been my career highlight so far. But I got a second. due to Mr. Dominic Orlando. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he's doing. He was round his friend's house at the time, so you can make excuses for that. He did a jump start at the beginning, so he had to take a penalty in the pits, and it all just went Pete Tong for Dominic Orlando. And then, of course, he had the unfortunate situation where he had to pass me to actually get that second place. And as you know, I'm very, very difficult to pass. And in the end, he lost it. He lost it. He completely bottled it, and he crashed into the wall. And that was it. Game over for Dominic Orlando, and I finished in second place. I'm actually very glad that Joe won the race, because one of the things I said when I started the league way back in 2014, I think it is now, when I started the league, one of the things I said was, if I won a race, I was instantly going to retire and say, that's it, there's nothing else. I wanted to do a Nico Rosberg and say, well, that's it, there's nothing else to achieve. I've done the best thing, so I might as well just quit. So that's always been there. So I was sort of saying, oh my goodness, if Joe crashes out, I could actually win this race, and then that would be it. And I would have retired at that point, definitely. I definitely would have retired. Now, the rules for that is that Joe and Dom have to be in the race at the same time. If I'm in the race and they're not in it, it doesn't really count if I win it, because they are the competition, obviously. Not for me. They're not competition for me. I'm nowhere near them, but they are the competition if you're trying to win the race. So I said if they were in the race and I beat them and finished the race, then I would retire. Now for that situation to occur, even if they crashed out and damaged their car, I know for a fact they still have enough in reserve to get into the pits, come out and still catch me again. I'm not that stupid, I know that. So the only way in that situation would that happen is if I was in third position and they crashed each other out and completely destroyed their cars each. That would be the only way I'd be able to do that. And then, but I still hold by that and say that I will retire if that ever happens. But I think it's very, very unlikely. If you look for the permutations of that, if Dom dropped out, Joe would take it up and vice versa. So it's very, very unlikely that would happen. Yorkshireman world champion, yes. Shane Paul says the only Hamilton fan. This is true. Will says Lewis Hamilton is washed up. Yes, he is. The Moaning Yorkshireman has 0 XP. I'm glad you mentioned that, Mr. Will F1. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm sure you're going to be very, very proud of that. Let's have a look and see if all the top fans have changed now. The top fans have changed. Oh God. How in all that's holy did that happen? Please, someone who is determining these top fans now? I don't know what's going on. But apparently Paddock 69 is now the top fan with 75 XP. But he's level with Will F1 on 75. Shane's still in third place with a gallant podium position in third place. And Matthew D'Souza. Oh, actually, no, Matthew's there as well. He's got 50 XP, but he's in fourth, obviously, because someone's got to be in fourth. I'm sorry, Matt, but it's you at the moment. But this could improve. Yes. Now, I'd just like to say I haven't done any of this. This top fans malarkey. I've not done anything. I haven't changed anything with YouTube. So obviously, YouTube's just started doing this. So there you go. Count that as strike 4. Yes, I would like to count it as strike 4, but unfortunately he did download them. So yeah, I've got to let him off. He's got 2 more strikes, and then I'll make a video. Don't worry, everyone. Don't worry. Those 2 more strikes are going to happen before the end of the year. Still got half a season left yet, and so far he's pretty much forgotten every time. Yes, if I didn't remind him, he'd forget. And sometimes I don't remind him because, why should I? 3 days, 3 bloody days he gets to download those. 3 bloody days. TMY of the week, yes. You won 2 races on F1 22 after Joe and Don was disqualified for having passengers. That's true. I did, but they didn't count it. Unfortunately, they didn't count it, Will. Unbelievable. Dominic of the week. Hello, Matthew D'Souza. Welcome to the stream. He says, hi, Dave. I've been studying HR recently, and something I learnt, I believe is true. If Dom gave himself more love, he'd be much better rather than being a perfectionist, which will drain him. That's very true. That's very true words. In fact, that works for everyone, I think. Yes. Give yourselves a bit more love. That's what I say. Yes, absolutely. And try not to be such a perfectionist. That is very true. Very, very true indeed. Because, I know people that try so hard, and, it doesn't do you any good in the end. It doesn't do any good. No, try not to be a perfectionist. No. Unfortunately, I've got this sort of nerdy personality. So in some situations, everything has to be perfect for me. Yes, it has to be perfect. And it doesn't do me any good. Doesn't do me any good. But that's so right. So right. That's what you should do. Yeah, no, you would have retired. You'd have gotten bored within a week. That's probably true, actually. I probably would have got bored within a week because, as everyone knows, I don't just do it for the racing. In fact, there's not really much enthusiasm for the racing. I do it mainly for the banter with the lads, and it's someone to talk to once a week. Okay, everyone get the sad violin out. I'll have you know, I've always got someone to talk to. Yes. He's a stuffed bear called TB. He's a stuffed bear called TB. Dom needs to relax more and let his natural style come out. Yes, indeed. Yeah, he tries too hard. I agree with you. He tries too hard. And then he makes mistakes, and there you go. I mean, that was a major mistake he made at the start of that race when he actually jumped the start. He had to come in for a jump start penalty, which, as you know, I think it's 10 seconds, isn't it, or something like that, if you come into the pits. And, of course, you got the actual coming into the pits as well. But he still managed to catch up to me, obviously, because he's miles faster than me. He still managed to catch up to me. But he couldn't get past. No, and the trouble is he was getting more and more frustrated, which is one of the tricks that I do, is to, get the person behind getting more and more frustrated. And then, you start to make silly mistakes and errors. And that's what he did. And he crashed into the wall. And that was it for him. And second place for me. Yes, an all-time career finish. All-time career finish. Dave to win on Monday then. Yes. Yes, then I can finally retire. But I say the parameters of that are pretty extreme if you think about it. Joe and Dom have got to crash out. And I've still got to win the race, obviously. I've still got, 5 or 6 guys behind me. So I've still got to beat them as well. So as I say, the parameters of doing that is quite extreme. Well, I haven't done it in, 2014? What's that? 11 years? I haven't done it in 11 years. So, that's one race every single week. So, yeah, I haven't done it in that time. So, Dom is too busy simping to his lord. Yes, he is. He is inevitable. Dom isn't capable of winning a championship, Matt. No, he isn't. Because he's a Lando Norris, unfortunately. He's a Lando Norris. Dom is a B-Tech Norris, yes. He should legally change his name to Lando. He should do. Because it's just, his style is just so similar. So similar. Don't remind Josh again, says Will. Yeah, sometimes I don't remind him, Will, because, what are you supposed to do? If you give someone 3 days to download something, surely they could download it in 3 days. I mean, it's a long time, isn't it? 3 days. Long time. Should be able to do it in 3 days. Disqualify Josh. I need 100 XP. You do. Oh no, I'm down to 4th, says Shane. Oh, Shane, we can't have that. In fact, hang on, because the messages are scrolling up quick. Hookster to retire. Yes, Lewis Hamilton is a number 2 driver. All top teams. He's years past his best. He is. I agree. Dave, you should collaborate with other YouTubers. I should. If there's any other YouTubers out there, let me know. I'll do a podcast with you. Yes. Maybe I could do a podcast with Paddock 43. Ah, he has Norrised it the third. Yes. I've always got three people to talk to. Me, myself and I. There you go. No truer words have been spoken. Me, myself and I. Yes. Hello, Mr. Champ92. Welcome to the stream. He says, how can Hornet end up at Cadillac when they already have a team principal? This must be a joke, right? Clearly. Well, yes. Yes. I put that in there, obviously, as the usual YouTube, you know, whatever you want to call it. The YouTube hook, as I like to call it. But the rumours are that Horner could go. Now, he might not go there as a team principal. He could be going there as, you know, some kind of consultant or, I don't know, advisor, whatever, you know. But yes, you are right. They do have a team principal. So it's highly unlikely. Unless, of course, they sack that team principal and bring in Christian Horner, which is a situation that could happen. Highly unlikely, I agree, but it could happen. It could happen. Yes. Who knows? Hello, Shane. Welcome to the stream. He says, hi, Dave. Do you know who's going to win the championship? I think it's either Lando Norris or Oscar's Pastry. I think it's going to be Oscar, to be honest. I know Lando's been pulling back lately, but I think it's going to be Oscar. I've got a feeling that he's going to do it in the end. Hello, Mr. Regal. Welcome to the stream. He says, Scott Diston snuffs out Palou with the help of AI. Nice. Meanwhile, you crashed just though being washed. Mr. Champ says, hi to everyone. Yes, hi to everyone. What do the Hookster and Hamilton have in common? Both are washed up and should retire. I'll have you know, I am not washed up because if anyone saw the Silverstone Grand Prix, now this was not reported on Sky News, but this is a fact. I was at the Silverstone Grand Prix and I was driving for Ferrari. I was. And if you don't believe me, well, here's the evidence. Bring the chat in because it's probably exploding over this. Weakest championship ever incoming. Matthew D'Souza says that blue bus is very difficult to pass. I have a few years experience which put me into retirement. yes, Matt retired because he couldn't get past me. No. Lando, all speed, zero brains, says Paddock69. Horner is finished as I predicted it. Yes, I'm pretty sure he is. As I've said on the title of this video, is it Tainted Love? I think it is Tainted Love. I can't see any other team wishing to take him on. He's a little bit of a, I don't know if anyone knows in the UK, but there's a guy that's just been sacked for inappropriate behaviour called Greg Wallace, and I can't quite help but feel that Christian Horner's turned into a bit of a Greg Wallace. The trouble is when you've got you know stuff like that going on, it doesn't help because there's whispers you know, whispers in the distance, as I say. So you know, I don't think he's ever going to be able to sort of come back from that. Obviously he's going to do something, but it may not even be in Formula One. Who knows? He may leave the sport completely. He's been there at the helm for the last 21 years, I do believe, at Red Bull. 21 years. That's a very, very long time. He's 51 years old. He could leave the sport entirely and go and be some kind of management consultant, because I expect he's very, very good as a job in management. Because he's been doing it for 21 years. He's probably very, very good at that. So he could go off and do that and I don't know, work for one of the big oil companies or something like that, and completely disappear from Formula One, for good, which I think would probably be the best thing for him, because if he tries to get back in, through some kind of backdoor means, I don't think, he's never going to replicate the success he managed to have with Red Bull, even though a lot of people have said that it wasn't all down to him, and it wasn't. There was a lot of people behind the scenes who were, doing very well as well. Jonathan Wheatley apparently was a cornerstone of Red Bull back in the day as well. So, yeah, we can't all say, oh, yeah, Christian Horner did it all. So I think possibly, as I say, leaving the sport entirely and going off to do something else would be a good move for him, because he would also get him out of the public eye. Because as I say, you're tainted goods now. You really are. You're tainted goods, and there's no real going back from that once you've got allegations against you. There's secret whispers going on all the time, and you're never going to get past that. If anyone knows about a massive YouTuber on here called Dr. Disrespect and what happened with him, he's come back, but people are still talking about him. He's got that taint now that he's never going to get rid of. Because people just don't know. People don't know what exactly went on. So yeah, I just think he would do very well to leave the sport. 21 years is a very long time in Formula One, and very, very long hours that you have to put, especially as a team principal. Jesus, he was probably working 15, 16 hours a day for 21 years. It's a very long time. I think he should leave the sport now. As I say, go and do something in big business, which I'm sure he's very, very good at, away from Formula One, away from the public eye, and just carry on with your life. I'm not gonna vilify him, because we still have no idea whether any of these allegations are true, because he was cleared. 2 investigations and he was cleared. Not that that means anything whatsoever, but 2 investigations, he was cleared. So we don't know what happened. We probably never will, because that kind of thing, especially concerning big businesses, you're never going to know the truth about what happened. All I know is that whatever he did was obviously inappropriate, and he should have been disciplined at the time, not 17 months later. But should he be branded as something really nasty? The kind of people I'm talking about. I can't mention it on here, but no, I don't think he should do. This happens all the time in big business. In fact, you'd be surprised how often it does happen, and especially with higher ups in business as well. This kind of inappropriate behaviour, I don't know. I can't understand the mindset, because I've never had money, so I don't know. But maybe it's just because you've got so much money, you get bored. I don't know. I don't know what spurs them to basically throw their career away on something as stupid as, allegedly from what we know, getting his Tinky Winky out on WhatsApp, which is basically, I think, the total sum of what he's supposed to have done wrong. That's just my theory. He got his Tinky Winky out on WhatsApp. As far as I know, there was no affair. There was no relationship with this woman. That's as far as I know. I could be completely wrong, because as I say, we won't know the facts. But from what I can gather, there wasn't any. This was just Christian Horner mucking around on WhatsApp. I don't know whether it went any further than that. As I say, we'll never find out. But from the sounds of it, I don't think it did. But as I say, we'll never find out the truth on that, because it's big business. So I don't think he should be vilified to such an extent. He did something wrong. he made a mistake, and fair enough. But he shouldn't be classed as some kind of complete wrong. And just in life, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. So he should just be able to move on. But I think, because I'm waffling a bit here, I think he should just, as I say, leave Formula One completely and go and do something in business. He'll still get lots of cash. I mean, there's probably oil firms out there that are crying out for him and saying, "Yes, Christian comes because he can be away from all this hassle and spotlight and not be in the public eye anymore and still, do a job." He's 51, probably for another 20 years. So that's what I think he should do. I don't think he should try to do anything with Alpine, because that, I think, is going to be disaster. They only keep mentioning Alpine because their base of operations is just up the road from Red Bull, so it's not far for him to go. He hasn't got to uproot his family and move somewhere else, which is what he would probably have to do if he went to Ferrari, because there's rumours that he might be going to Ferrari. I 100% can't see that happening ever, going to Ferrari. He just doesn't seem like the right fit, and especially now he seems even less of a right fit, so I can't see that. The only fit really he could go to is Alpine, because they've already got Flavio. So he'd be another one of the lads, wouldn't he, at Alpine? But unfortunately, one, Alpine couldn't afford to pay him, because he's going to want mega bucks, because he's an ex-team principal, and Alpine are in serious financial problems as it is now. I mean, they might not even be on the grid in a couple of years. So having Christian Horner on board, it just makes no sense to me that would ever happen. So yeah, I'm hoping that Christian just falls on his sword and says, "That's it, everyone. Thanks for the 21 years," and goes away and, as I say, does something in big business. That's what I'm hoping that he does. And let's not forget, before we vilify Christian, the tremendous contribution he gave to Formula One for the last 21 years, especially at Red Bull. So we shouldn't forget that when we put him down. But I do think he should leave the sport now and go away and do something else. 1961 ain't incoming, says Mr. Rugara. Thank you. Will down to fourth. He's bottled it. I'll have a look at the fans in a minute. Piastri and Norris aren't even top three drivers on the grid. That McLaren car is on 2020 Mercedes and 2023 Red Bull levels of dominance. I'm managing pace like my fellow Yorkshireman Oliver Rowland. For Dom, yes, that's what he needs. Someone give him a hug. Well, apparently someone is. Yes, allegedly. Yes, and they're winning like the best teams do, minus Canada, of course, and other races sometimes. The McLaren isn't that good, Will. More like 2010 Red Bull levels. Should be dominant, but circumstances prevent it. And I've lost the chat. Where is it? There it is. McLaren need better drivers. First Yorkshireman to do anything of note, Will. Is it that dominant? That McLaren kicks the 2010 Red Bull up and down the street. Could happen, who knows? Sure, sir, we will leave it at that. Correct, yes, we will. 2010 Red Bull had a lot of reliability issues, Vettel more so. For fuck's sake, why am I not on 100 XP? AI is getting desperate. Yes. Send the photos to Josh. I will. Perfect AI Photoshop. Brilliant Dave Hookster Alpha. Thank you. Yes. I'm not going to claim credit for it, because a friend of mine, Mr. Jeff Dotson, is doing... oh my God. I shouldn't have pressed that one. Sorry, everyone. Where was I? There I am. But yes, a friend of mine, Mr. Jeff Dotson, has been doing those AI for me. He's done a lot of TB the Bear ones, which will be coming up soon. I should be sporadically putting them round and about. But yes, thanks to Jeff for doing them for me, because I haven't got. He knows how to do it. I haven't got a clue. But yeah, he does it. So yes, thank you, Jeff. Most appreciated. Lots of TB ones coming soon. Yes. True, they also had races like Monza and Spa where it's like these guys are new to this, being at the top thing. Are Ferrari or McLaren going to beat them? Maybe. Switch the reliability problems for driver problems and it's pretty much the same. Will. I suppose, Paddock 69. Vettel had by far the most bad luck of all championship contenders in 2010, but he could afford that. For Christ's sake, Will, we don't pay you to languish in fourth. Is he in fourth? Is he in fourth now? Oh my goodness. Problems. Put a great driver in the hat at McLaren car and you'll see that it's on 2020 Mercedes and 2023 Red Bull levels of dominance. 9 out of 12 wins is dominating, I mean. Yes, it is. Will be 12 out of 12 wins with better drivers. 11 out of 12 wins at least. Shane says, also, when you asked the other week of what we thought of the Austrian Grand Prix, I thought it was good. Thank you, Shane. Yes, I thought it was a good one as well. The only people that have left there are the likes of Marco. I do apologise, I can't even say that name. Is that Wash, Balbo, Smits, and of course their driver Verstappen and Lambasi. Once they leave, it's done and dusted. Yes, of course. Still up in the air what's happening with Maxi Boy. He could be on the go. I've no idea. He may wish to leave the sinking ship, like the rats running away from the sinking ship. Was it running towards it? I can't remember. But yes, he could want to leave because so many top people now have left Red Bull. It's going to affect them greatly. Greatly. I mean, already they haven't got the top car on the grid for this year, which, don't forget, last year they did have. So it's only a year ago. No regulation changes for this year. So pretty much in terms of evolution, the car has just evolved into a slightly revised version of last year's car. And yet, they haven't managed to pull off what they did last year. McLaren have come to the front. Obviously, there were signs of that last year that McLaren were, improving. And now they have got the championship winning car. So Red Bull are really in the mud right now. And I can't see a way back. There's so many things going wrong at Red Bull right now. And I've said this before, but in Formula One, it's continuity which wins championships. You get a car, you improve on it every year. And if your car starts to become a championship winning car, then every year after that, you just keep improving it and improving it. But when something comes along and starts to upset that equilibrium, you're in serious trouble. And one of those, of course, is Adrian Newey leaving. I think that's going to be a huge blow to Red Bull. We don't know whether Adrian actually designed this year's car. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I don't think he had any input on it whatsoever, which is possibly why it's not performing to top spec. So Adrian's gone. Christian Horner's gone. They already lost, I think, was it Wheatley a little while ago? Now, all this coming together would be quite problematic. But then, of course, you've got next year, which is quite a huge regulation change year. That's going to put even more of a spanner into the works at Red Bull. Now, next year, as you may all know, for the first time, Red Bull will be running their own engine called the Red Bull Powertrains. And with the co-partnership with Ford, who are doing the electrical side of the engine, so it'll be a split partnership between them. That's all very, very new. Because if anyone doesn't realise, they've still been using the old Honda engines at Red Bull for the past donkey. Even though Honda officially, unofficially pulled out of the sport, I'm not quite sure. I'm really not quite sure whether they did or not. But they've still been using that Honda engine. It's just been like an evolution of it. Now, they built an add-on at their base. I think, is it in Brackley? I think their base is in Brackley. They built an add-on purely for this engine department. I also understand that Christian Horner has some huge shares in the Red Bull powertrain department, which is going to cause a huge headache later on, because obviously they've got to decide whether they're going to buy his shares out. And anyway, that's another issue. But yeah, so they're going to be coming in with a new power plant for the first time, made exclusively by Red Bull themselves. Now, when new power plants come along, usually they're from, top manufacturers. But also, when new power plants come along, they tend to not be very good for the first few years. Honda, yes. You remember Honda when they came back into the sport. When was it? Was it 2014, 2015? You remember Honda? Yes. Fernando Alonso remembers Honda because that was his famous line, "We've got a GP2 engine here, a GP2 engine." It's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Yes. So, usually when engines come in for the first few years, they're not very competitive. Takes a few years to get. I mean, look at Honda now. What they did with that engine, it became super competitive. But when it first came in, very unreliable, engines blowing regularly. That could be a problem for Red Bull next year. And so they got that against them. But more importantly than that, 2026, let's forget about whether Adrian Newey had any involvement with this year's car. Next year, he has got zero involvement with next year's car. So the new designer, who may have been doing it this year, we don't know. The new designer has got to design a car from the ground up, because the regulation changes are that at the end of this year, all these 2025 cars are virtually going into the scrap bin. Obviously, that they won't. That's not how it happens with Formula 1 cars. But they're virtually going to the scrap bin. So they've got to build a car from the ground up. We're going to have this new flexi front wing. Yes, which is going to be another sort of DRS only on the front wing as well as the rear wing. But I understand the rear wing is going to be a little bit less in DRS performance because it's going to have more from the front wing now. So all that, if you put all that together, it spells one thing for Red Bull: disaster. Absolute disaster. There's too many things that have gone on there over the past few years. Too many people leaving. Too many things that are going to happen next year that mean that Red Bull, I don't think they're going to be competitive at all. I think they're going to be middle runners next year. And so Max could be looking at that. Max is not stupid whatsoever. He's not stupid. He knows that. He can see that everyone's leaving the sinking ship, and he could want to step off as himself. I mean, let's face it. It's a safe bet at Mercedes. It's a safe bet to go to Mercedes. They've got consistency right now. Yes, they're not a top team, but they're also a very good team. A very good team. And, even if he just signed a contract for a couple of years, that would get him out of the danger zone. And he could sit back and see what's happening with Red Bull, see how Red Bull is going next. Who knows? Who knows? Red Bull in 2 years' time could be back to their dominant best. I don't think they will. I think they're going to be middle runners now, because, they would be anyway without Max, because that second car is doing nothing with Yuki. I like Yuki a lot, but, I've got to put my hands up now and say he's done shit in that second car. He's done shit. Yes. At this point, I'd put Logan's private back in a car, to be honest, because none of them have done very well. None of them. I know Logan was in the Williams, but I'd put him in that Red Bull, because he can't do any worse than any of the others, because they just haven't done anything. Haven't done a thing. So without Max in the Red Bull team, they would be middle runners anyway. They'd be finishing 8th and 10th position. So we will see. We will see what happens. I just don't think Max wants to stay there for next year if the car's going to be really uncompetitive. And at the moment, the signs are that it is going to be because of everything that's happened. They lost Marshall to McLaren, lost Newey to Aston Martin, lost Wheatley went to Salvia. Game over, so done. Yeah, I agree. I think it is game over as well for Red Bull. I really do. I can't see them winning a championship for another 10 years after this year. Maybe even 15 years. Maybe even 20. I can't see it. I really can't see it. The glory days, unfortunately, of Red Bull, I think are now gone. I think they're now gone. So, yeah, it's a shame. I'm getting Tyrrell vibes from Red Bull. If anyone remembers Tyrrell, great team, but slowly started slipping backwards, and at the end they ended up at the back every single race. It was very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed, because I did used to like the Tyrrell team. But, yeah, I'm starting to get Tyrrell vibes from Red Bull right now. And also there seems to be a lot of similarities with Williams as well. Williams, absolutely fantastic team, slowly started slipping backwards. And now, yes, I know James Vowles done a great job. Everyone's saying it. I know, I agree, great job. But still, is that Williams, is it up there where it should be? No, it's nowhere near it. But yes, he's doing a good job. He's bringing the team forward, but it's going to take time. And this is what I say about consistency. It's going to take a long time for him to get that Williams up to any kind of competitive level. It could take another 5 years before that Williams is competitive again. I mean, I'd love in 5 years' time to have Williams winning races and winning championships. But I think that's just a pipe dream. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Williams will get up to a certain level. I think they'll end up as maybe the third best car. I can see that happening, definitely, the third best car. But higher than that, I don't think it's possible. But we will see. But there's my prediction for Red Bull. I don't think they'll win another championship for at least 10 years now, if ever again. Unfortunately, the glory days of Red Bull, it's now over. And it is sad because, they have been a team that have been up there. They've had years where they were dominating. A lot of people got bored with that, especially the Sebastian Vettel years. But then Lewis Hamilton came along at Mercedes and started dominating, and everyone got bored with that. So, just one of those things. Domination in the sport, unfortunately, is boring. There's nothing you can do about it. We've had the same with Max Verstappen. And now, of course, we've got McLaren in, and I'm expecting, they're fresh and new in their domination at the moment. So, it's good for everyone. If this happens for the next 2 or 3 years, I think everyone's going to start going about McLaren. Oh, God, it's boring. McLaren winning again. It's just the nature of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. As I say, domination is a fact of any sport, and it happens. I personally don't like it. I like to see lots of different teams fighting for wins, fighting for points, and, I mean, the 1997 season for me was great in the fact that you had like 4 top teams and they were constantly fighting for the points. You had Williams, but you had Ferrari in the mix as well. You had Benetton in the mix as well. And all right, just a little bit further back, but McLaren were in there as well also. So you had 4 top teams and they were constantly fighting for the points, which, for me it was great to see. And but domination is not good. It's not good. But nothing you can do about it. You can't ask, when Max was dominating, you can't ask him to slow down. It just doesn't make any sense, does it? So, yeah. I'd have at least 10 wins in that car, Will, says Panic69. Maybe it could also be 3, 4, 5 or 6, but that's neither here nor there. You probably have 15. It's not like it was in 2002 when Ferrari asked Rubens Barrichello to let his teammate Michael Schumacher to overtake him and win the race. That's true. And oh my goodness, didn't everyone boo? Yes, because the public doesn't like that kind of thing, you know? And I can understand why the boos were there. I can, because, yeah. But there you go. They learnt from that mistake. I don't think they ever repeated it either, did they, Ferrari? I don't think so. Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc have all been better than both McLaren drivers this season. I'd agree. Piastri and Norris are carried by their dominant rocket ship car. Throw out Leclerc from that. I think Paddock 69 is with me on that. None of us have ever had money day. But exactly. That's basically why you're all here. We're all members of the No Money Club. Yes, the No Money Club. Sir is paid by McLaren Formula 1 team. No, I don't agree with you. Leclerc has been a lot better than Hamilton this season. Leclerc has been solid. What do you think Leclerc should be? Third, 10-2 in races in favour of Leclerc. And Paddock 69 used to say sack Leclerc and replace him with Gasly. So I brainwashed Crystal Racing into thinking that Piastri is best driver. This season's been really weird because you'd think Hamilton is getting clean clubbed by Leclerc, but in reality he's not really. When he was throwing it into the wall every 2 races around 2022, Timer would have said that, Will. Leclerc has been solid. Sack Leclerc and replace him with Gasly. Leclerc has beaten Hamilton 10 out of 12 races, been a lot better. I think about 7 or 8 races Hamilton wins, or most of the time Leclerc is up by a place. Ferrari were more bottle jobs than Leclerc in 2022. Reliability and strategy errors happened a lot more than his mistakes. Stop defending Hamilton. And then Hamilton has cashed in slightly more, but to be honest, even that's a debate. Hamilton has been beaten comfortably by Leclerc. I still don't understand how Hammy Boy randomly turned up for one sprint race, then disappeared. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. But then I find those sprint races. I find those sprint races weird anyway. So that I can agree with. I'm still not on 100 XP. Ah, you bloody XP. Rest peacefully, one Manuel Fangio. Cannot believe it's been 30 years. Wow, 30 years. Also, apparently, today is the anniversary of Jules Bianchi. Apparently, 10 years ago today. Let me just check that because I saw it and I thought, oh, hello. So I just saw my internet connection dropped out for a moment there. I should be back on again. Looks like I am. Yeah, we're still running. Yes, apparently it's Jules Bianchi's 10th. Because don't forget, of course, after the accident, he did die, didn't he? Later on. He did die later on. And so there you go. It is the anniversary of Jules Bianchi today. He died on 17th of July, which is, of course, today. Aged 25 years. That's the most tragic thing, you know. 25 years old and wipe out. So, yeah, it's 10 years ago today. Blimey. 10 years ago today. Yeah, he was in hospital, wasn't he? Wasn't he in a coma for a long time before he died? That's what I seem to remember. Yeah, there you go. He was in a coma like Michael Schumacher. Desperate condition. 9 months. There you go. 9 months after the accident is when he died. Well, let's be totally honest. He died at that circuit, basically, because he was in a coma for, I think, pretty much the whole time, wasn't he? So he died at that circuit. There you go. Remaining comatose until his death. A diffuse axonal injury. What is that? Ah, it's a brain injury. There you go. A brain injury. First Formula 1 driver to be killed since Ayrton Senna in 1994. And because of that accident, of course, the halo was introduced by the FIA. And the halo, I have to say, I was against the halo when it first came out. I thought it was horrible to look at, but you know, who cares what it looks like as long as it saves your life? And the halo has proved now and again, time and again I should say, that it has saved drivers' lives. So well done to the halo, that's what we say. It's a shame Jules didn't have it, and he would probably still be around today. And I think he would probably be I think he would have been a top driver who'd been around today as well. I think he's definitely been at Ferrari, obviously. Definitely been at Ferrari, and I think he would have done well. So there you go, Jules Bianchi. 10 years ago today. Even in races like Canada and Austria, where Leclerc and Hamilton finished a place apart, Leclerc was much faster in these races. Panic says, don't forget Jules. Well, look at this. Look at this. I didn't see your comments, honestly. I saw about Jules Bianchi just before I came on air. I saw it, and a little message came up and said 10th anniversary of Jules Bianchi, so I had a look. Ah, and Champ 92 said it as well. Jules Bianchi's day today. Godspeed, Jules. Forza Jules. Godspeed. Yes, indeed. So there you go. Jules Bianchi, 10 years today. Very, very tragic situation. As I say, I'm 99% sure if they'd had the halo in 2014, he would still be around today. So well done to the halo. Not, you know, for back then, but for the countless drivers it's saved since, because there's been 3 or 4 incidents where we know that the halo has saved drivers' lives. And who cares what it looks like, Dave? Who cares what it... Yes, exactly. Who cares what it looks like? Someone in the Moan Yorkshireman's comments really rates Hamilton and gives him good scores even when Hamilton does shit. Ah, you can't bash the Lulu Hamilton fans, I'll tell you. You can't bash them. You can't bash them. They're always consistent. Yes, and it's still a 1-0 win. Knocked me for 6 when that news came out. I'd never experienced a driver death before then. Yeah, it does, especially if you're a big fan of the sport. I was exactly the same when Senna died back in 1994, and it was just surreal. Just surreal. you know, for me, it was very personal because my dad had just died, and I'd literally just got back from the funeral on the Saturday, and I was watching the qualifying, and of course we had the death of Roland Ratzenberger. I think it was on the Saturday, wasn't it? And I was like, oh my god, you know, could this weekend get any worse? You know, I just literally come back from my dad's funeral and watching the Grand Prix, and Roland Ratzenberger had died. I thought, well, you know, I stupidly thought, well, that's going to be it. Nothing else is, you know, is going to happen. And then on the Sunday, we had the death of Ayrton Senna. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on here? Seriously. So it's got personal sort of things for me, sort of memories, because of all that going on at the same time, you know, with me dad and that. So, yeah, very, very surreal. But, you know, watching it play out in real time as well. I've mentioned this before, but no social media back then. So the only way you could find out news was in the UK. You had to wait until the 6 o'clock news on the BBC came out before you could hear anything. We had the radio, but the radio wouldn't give you any sort of updates. It was TV back in the 90s, which was king, and you know, so the race was like the normal time in the afternoon, wasn't it? 2 or 3 o'clock, and there was this. Hello everyone, sorry about that. I had to take a pause there, not because I was talking about Ayrton Senna, but because my internet disconnected itself. It's quite clever, it actually connected back in again. But I was waiting for the stream to catch up for all you people out there watching. So yeah, I apologise for that. I did lose internet connection for a few seconds there, but it has reconnected again. So anyway, so I was talking about the that weekend. So yeah, it was like an agonising wait for 3 hours before the 6 o'clock news came on. And then, of course, you know, we had Steve Ryder, who is well known in the UK as a great commentator. And he was the one that said that Ayrton Senna was gravely injured. And then it was at that point that we all pretty much knew that, you know, it was game over for Senna. So, yeah, it's very, 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 very surreal situation. When drivers die, especially if it's, you know, if it's your favourite sport. Very, very surreal. Anyway, we should be back on now. Hopefully, if everyone's watching the stream, we'll have caught up, and we should be back on. So, welcome along. Right. Oliver Rhodes is a great driver, says Will F1. Yes, Sainz is getting rinsed. Stroll might be winning, but in reality, he's also getting rinsed. Hamilton is getting rinsed most of the time. Hamilton is losing, but he's at least there-ish. Watch Roland finish around 14th in the stands next year. Consistency doesn't exist in Formula E. Sonoda, well, yes. McLaren had a dominant car for a lot of 2024, but the drivers' performances were pathetic, quite frankly. New redesign this year's car, but likely put it together in about 5 minutes. Yeah, it seems like he put it together in about 5 minutes, doesn't it? By the pace of it, yes. It's like, I can't be bothered. Just stick that wing on, and stick that wing on the back. Put the tyres on. That'll do. That'll do. I'm out of here. I'm off to Aston. My friend, they were also not getting used to fighting for wins at the front all of a sudden, so of course they couldn't win the driver's title yet against Max, since Max's car was also working. Fuck's sake, will you actually overtake fourth place with that car in your pick? Is it excusable? Perez was doing better from Netherlands until the end of the season than Tsunoda's doing now. 2024 was a hard watch as a Macca fan, as is this year. Yes, it was. Verline, second in the World Drivers' Championship currently, is the best for defending since Verne winning back-to-back championships. Not at China 2013 and Spain 2013. Champ says that's the catch. The new power plant they have to do this on their own, since no one's going to help them out this time, like Cosworth, Ferrari, Renault or Honda, for instance. And Renault was dang expensive. Yes, it was. Yes, so they are doing it on their own, and I predict a great disaster. I do, honestly. I predict a great disaster for Red Bull. I think it looked good on paper, the original plan. Oh, let's build our own engine. But, you know, in practice, I don't think it's going to work very well. I mean, we've had situations where teams have switched to different engine suppliers and it's gone terribly. Williams, they had was it Honda, I think? They had a fallout with Honda, so they had to switch to the Judd engine for one season. And oh my God, that car was a dog with that Judd in the back of it. It was an absolute dog. Really was. Then, of course, you had the Renault fallout after 1997 when Renault pulled out of the sport. And in 1998, they were still running the Renault engine, but it was a customer engine. Yes. I've spoken about this before, but a works engine, the engine turns up, you get about 20 engineers who sit there all through the season and lovingly make the engine better, improve its performance, basically give it a lot of love. Customer engine is basically you turn up at Ford or whatever engine you want, Renault, you turn up there in your transit van and you say, I'd like one of them, please. And they'd say, yeah, no problem. I'll get Colin to bring it out on the forklift. Colin! Right, customer, he wants a Renault engine. So Colin comes out with his forklift, Renault engine on the back, shoves it in the back of your transit van, and that is it. The rest is down to you. Yes, so you have to have your own men sorting out the engine. And, you know, they don't know how it works because it's not their engine, is it? They've just brought it off the shelf. You know, whereas works engines, they work for the engine supplier. So they know exactly the ins and outs of that engine. As I say, you buy it as a customer. Oh, I don't know. What does this bit do? I don't know. What about this bit? And so it never kind of works, unfortunately. And I just see in parallels, it seems to be like Red Bull next year, that's going to be more of a customer engine. Even though they're making it themselves, it just seems to be, you know, it's going to be a customer engine. I can't see it's going to have the same performance as like the Ferrari. And of course, you know, the McLaren, which has got the Mercedes engine in it. Can't see it. Because as I say, there's been years and years and years of evolution in those engines. Mercedes, every year, they refine the tiniest details on that engine, making it a little bit better. Same with Ferrari, just a little bit better every single year. Red Bull starting absolute scratch. Yep, got an engine, and then they've got to improve on that every single year. And it could take them 20 years before that engine becomes even mildly competitive. Not good. At least you don't support Red Bull or a Red Horse team. That car won 9 races in a row without breaking a sweat. Get on with it, Yorkie boy. I'm going to end up lapping you here. Yeah, because you're driving a 2025 McLaren which does lap 5 seconds or faster. Red Bull's such a midfield car already, so in the mud. Yeah, I agree. It is a midfield car. And without Max, I think it would be a back runner, to be honest. Seriously, without him in that car, I mean, I don't know who they'd have without Max, to be honest. Who would they have in there? They'd probably bring back Daniel Ricciardo and have him in the car. Yeah, probably. He's been retired more times than Jesus, but they'll have him back. Oh my God, my internet's dropping out again. Wowzers. Definitely having internet problem tonight. Oh, we're back on. But yeah, they'll probably put Daniel Ricciardo back in the car. And so he'll probably finish 15th, like he did when he was at the Racing Bulls or whatever it's called this year. Unbelievable. Next year will be between McLaren and Mercedes. Yeah, I think you're right there. I can see Mercedes are definitely improving every year, and I think next year is going to be a good one. I'd love to see Mercedes and McLaren duking it out next year. I think that would be good. I think that would be good. I mean, the cars get faster every year. Even Alpine's car this year will hold up well against past cars. RBR was or used to be such a toxic environment to begin with over time for Max as well. With him, and for him, he isn't leaving yet. Then he will after next year. Yeah. I mean, he's got a contract for 2020. He's got a contract for 2028, but I can't see him staying that long. He can break that contract. He very cleverly has got performance levels in that contract. So if Red Bull don't do those performance levels, he's entitled to leave the team. So there's a get out clause for Max, and I think that's going to be implemented pretty soon, probably next year. After next year, as you say, I can't see him start. I think he probably will be there next year. Just depends. I'm still up in the air about why they haven't re-signed George Russell at Mercedes. I can't quite understand the thinking there. I mean, it's getting very late in the season now. Usually they like to get that signing stuff out of the way, but they still got the summer break. But I would highly expect after the summer break there's going to be an announcement about what's happening with George. I can't see they'll keep him on tenterhooks even longer than that. So we will see. Hello, Mr. Plynal Plessy. Well, to stream, he says, get Victoria Beckham on this all season's rubbish. I'm glad you're here, actually, because I'm going to do that later, and I had actually run out of ideas. But what I have run out of is pens. My pen's gone missing. Let me do a little notepad. Hang on. There we are. Because I had run out of ideas. You can't actually see that on the. Can you see it on the screen? No, you can't. You can if I make that smaller. There you go. So I'm glad you're here. I can write down some ideas because I was struggling this week. Get Victoria back. There you go, Victoria Beckham. There's one. Red Bull will be outright back markers next season, says Patrick. I agree. I absolutely agree. They're going to be the GOAT last team. Yeah. Imagine if Alpine gets ahead of them. That would be great, wouldn't it? Norris to Red Bull. Yeah, that's probably going to happen, Will. Knowing Lando Norris, he's probably also, I think I'll go to Red Bull now. Forgot that you were going live this week due to there being no race. I know. I tried to be here every single week, if I can, during the F1 season, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's ongoing. It's just no race this week, is there? But yeah, I try to be everything because there's quite a huge break, obviously, during the winter. So it's like 3 months when I'm not here. So I try to be every week if I can. Obviously, there's going to be some weeks when I'm not because I'm probably going to get sick or something. But when I can, I try and be here. Get Mel C on this all season's rubbish. Mel C, yeah, there's another one. Mel C. Get Mel B. Yes, we could get Mel B. Get Emma Bunton. Emma Bunton. Point standings, Dave. Yes, we need the point standings, Will. Plynal, stop spamming. Get Nicole. Oh, I'd love Nicole on the All Seasons. Yeah, I must get Nicole one time on the All Seasons. I'll write her down, but it's very difficult to find Nicole's voice because she only said a few words. And my little AI robot needs about 30 seconds, and all she says is, "Great win last race, Dave. Great win." So it's difficult to get Nicole, but I will one day have a go at it. Get Nicole on this All Seasons run. Yes. Have I had her before? I can't remember. Nicole, what's her name? SCHER. Not that it matters. Just so long as I know roughly what it means. That'll do. That'll do. I'll know what that is. It's not right, but that'll do. Get Mel D on this All Seasons rubbish. The energy drink itself will end up driving Red Bull this way. Get Plynal Pleasure on his spamming comments on the All Seasons rubbish. Yes. Yes. Thankfully he's never spoken online, otherwise I would grab it. I would grab it, same as Will F1, he's never spoken either. Otherwise I'd grab him as well. Yes. Yes. Mind you, I could just get a generic Yorkshireman to talk for Will, couldn't I? Let's face it. I mean, they're all the bloody same. There's no difference, are they? Any Yorkshireman will do. Yes. Get Melly on the all... Yes, get Melly. Get Will F1 on this All Seasons rubbish. Red Bull as a lubricant. Red Bull fuel. Yes, Red Bull fuel. That'd be great. Get Rugaro on this All Seasons. Yes. Never forget Tyrrell employed the GOAT, Mr. Tosser. Yes, Ricardo Rosset. Ricardo Rosset, the greatest F1 driver in the history of the world ever. I know, I am fickle. I do change it regularly. I am now on to F1 2012 on the All Seasons rubbish, and at least you're driving the best car, which is the HRT. Yes, the hormone replacement therapy special. Fantastic. James Voles is overrated. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree. I do believe I said that at the time. Pretty sure I did. Not James Voles is overrated, says Champ 92. Williams, the project, is overrated. Heck, Frank's daughter said at best this team is prehistoric and thinking, which means Stone Age, thinking they stood still ages ago. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yes. I say they're going to do well. They're going to get up there. They may even get up there to be the third fastest team, but I don't think that's going to happen for at least 2 or 3 years. But actually reaching that top step, I think it's beyond Williams, to be honest. Too much stuff has been eroded from them to come back and suddenly do that. I mean, we had Brawn, but that was an exception to the rule, and I can't see another team ever doing that, to be honest. That was just all different circumstances fell into place, and I can't see it ever being repeated. Domination is natural. Yes, it is. It wouldn't have been for Direction Capital. Williams wouldn't even exist anymore, let alone drive in Formula 1. That's true. Ferrari 2025, skunk between Leclerc and Hamilton. Leclerc stands early most rounds. Hamilton goes late, and most times it doesn't work for him. Almost every round, -1 or 2, where he cashes in. Happens in every sport. Albon will win a race this season out of nowhere. You heard it here. There you go. There you go. You heard it here first. In fact, I'm going to write that down. Albon to win a race this season. If only I could spell. Albon to win a race this season, says Paddock 69. There you go. There you go. Max Verstappen is maybe a top 5 all the time. KD's an Alex Albon fan now, it seems. Driver. Dave, they actually did Hockenheim 2010. Just ask Felipe Massa when he had to let Fernando Alonso. Yeah, that's true. Now, I just can't see us having crazy wet race this season like a Hungary 2021 kind of race will. Plano Player says, so many comments. I know, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I love it. Love it. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. We love those comments. Those lovely comments. Yes. I was watching Star Trek last night, the movie, the first one, the Next Generation, and he asked Data to search for life forms, and he's going, little life forms, that's such little life forms. Ah, blimey. I'm such a nerd. I really am. I'm such a nerd. There's a line. If a race like that happens, Alonso will win if they give him the correct strategy. Or Hulkenberg. It's Aston. Daddy boy comes before all. Not when Stroll crashes out. Stroll's cruel room DQ was postponed due to bad weather in England. He's on his way out. The script saved him. If you know, you know. Tomo F1 win around his neighbourhood like an absolute lunatic if Alex Albon ever wins a race. He probably will. Champ 92 says yes, Bianchi was still in a coma for several more months till he passed away. But Suzuka 2015 was a tragic race. Yes, it was indeed. Was indeed. Paddock 69 says, Jesus, 10 years since Bianchi, I'm old. Coma. I meant Suzuka 2014. Yeah, it's alright. I know. It's alright. I know what you meant, mate. No problems. Yes, 10 years ago. I can't believe it's been 10 years either. I'd say 5 to be honest, but then that's a lot of people say it's the COVID effect because we lost like 3 years during COVID, just completely disappeared. So yeah, weird, very weird. Planal Pessi says, I remember watching the Suzuka 2014 race. At first I was confused as to why the race stopped, but then later on I learned Bianchi was in a serious crash. Didn't know how serious it was until, yes. All it did was rain. I saw a video of the crash, awful. Yeah, I have seen that video myself. I didn't watch it until, I don't know, 5 years later. I mean, it came out pretty soon after his crash, I do believe. But I couldn't watch it till about 5 years later. And yeah, very, very nasty. I mean, you can't see, but you can see certain camera angles. And yeah, that's what they call a non-survivable event. Unfortunately. Very much like Senna. That was a non-survivable event as well. Lando Norris winning the championship would make the sport look stupid. I agree, Will. It would. Same plan, I was vying for the race to continue so Button could have a chance of a podium before I realised later what happened. I think the commentator said soon after the crash what had actually happened. Phil Hill, Mike Hawthorne and the like are champions. The sport already looks stupid as a result. Norris would be the weakest championship in history. I agree. Probably best he didn't get a podium that race. Would have been the worst race possible to get his last podium at. Yeah, that's true. Norris isn't looking at any higher than 27th and probably will end up maybe 30th or so. Paddock 69, Halo, head saver in the shape of Gandhi's flip-flop. I agree, yeah. I said at the time, hate the Halo. Oh, it's a horrible thing. Horrible thing. And yes, I now realise how stupid I was saying that. Because it has proved time and time again that it's saved people's lives. It had a great contribution to Romain Grosjean as well, didn't he? When he went spearing off into that barrier and the car exploded. But I mean, he went straight through that barrier. So if that Halo hadn't been there, oh my God, the barrier. Not to put too fine a point on it, but the barrier would have gone straight through Romain Grosjean, surely, if that Halo wasn't there as like its own little barrier right in the front. Literally, the barrier would have gone through Grosjean. So I'm pretty sure in that situation, the halo also saved Grosjean's life. Definitely. I mean, there was once I thought Ferrari was everything in Formula 1, still do from time to time. You talked up fate there, didn't you, Dave? Yeah, I did. I did. I think Bianchi's death knocked the drivers out too, given the mess that was that rave at Hungary that weekend, yeah. Fangio winning with 4 different teams in his 40s is madness. He was the Mercedes president when he passed away, in fact. Was he really? Wow. Yeah, that is... The stream has gone down. Yes, it has. And now we're back. Now we're back. There was no race on the weekend. Bianchi died. Hungary was the weekend after. Yeah, good. Well, you know what I meant. Yes, we know what you meant. We know what you meant. Now look who is in first. Oh my God. I'll have a look at that in a minute once we get past the chat. Oh, bloody hell. And Will has made a comeback, seemingly. About time you turned up. As I said, I was managing pace and energy like Oliver Rowland. I like that. I like that. Will says, I'm on 150 XP. I just like to say, for anybody watching, all this top fans has not been activated by me. Okay? I didn't have a clue what it's about. This is obviously something that YouTube has decided to do, so I haven't done it. I think it's quite good. I like it. But it's not to do with me. And it's nothing to do with me getting any money because you're my... No, it doesn't make any... YouTube's not said anything about getting cash for this, so yeah. It's probably just something they've started doing. But I do like it. It's pretty decent because you lot in the chat now can compete against each other. So let's have a look now at the top 9 fans. This is like Top of the Pops back in the 80s. Hi, Poppicers. Now it's time for our top 10 top fans. At number 9, with 75, it's Lionel Plessy. In at 8, it's Shane Paul. And in at number 7, oh my goodness, it's Helium Trophy. He must be in the chat somewhere with 75 XP. In at 6, it's Matthew D'Souza. He's got 100. And so has Champ 92, climbing up the tables at number 5. In 4th place, it's Shane with 125 XP. And in 3rd, it's Mr. Rugara with 150. Now, just off the top spot, it's Will F1 with 150. And Paddock 69 is there in the top spot with 150 XP. Fantastic. Fantastic. There you go. So I just like to reiterate, this has nothing to do with me. I don't gain any money from doing it either, and I had no idea what it was all about, so it must be something that YouTube had just started doing. So there you go. But I think it's quite good, that, especially if there's lots of people out there commentating, making comments, that you can have a little competition with yourselves. I love it. That's interaction, and as you know, I love interaction. For every Senna there's a burger, every Verstappen has a Carlos Sainz. 5% more energy than all the other drivers. Did you buy a super chat? I don't know. Don't think so. I usually get notifications if anyone's donated money to me. By the way, my PayPal's always open. That faking attack mode. Sire is 8th place and in last place. Getting that point like Raikkonen did at Monaco 2007. I left my 6-minute attack mode until late in the race. I need to sort my sister out for bed so you can have the win this weekend, Will. There you go. I haven't done a super chat. No, he hasn't done a super chat. Because I would have been informed. I would have been informed. In fact, I'm gonna show you lot something right now. Here we go. I'm going to show you this. This is hallowed stuff because YouTubers don't show you this. But here it is. This is my stream. This is my stream live right now. There's going to be a huge delay on it. Okay, it's probably like 5 minutes behind because this is my stream running right now. And as you can clearly see, it says chat revenue £0. I have the monetization on, okay, but nothing. So I can confirm that Will has not donated a super chat just to get him up into the top fans list. But yeah, there you go. Monetization is on. Perhaps you could let me know if you actually see adverts running through this, because I can't see them obviously because I'm live. But apparently it runs ads. I don't know. It's another new thing for YouTube. I'm trying out all this stuff. But as I say, yeah, no chat revenue for me. No. 43 views I've had so far. Wowzers me trousers. Yes. Look at that. Look at that. Fantastic. So there you go. A little insight there into YouTube. This is what's running currently right now. Yes. And trust me, you won't get the big YouTubers showing you that, because there'll be money on there for sure. For sure there'll be money on there. They won't show you that. They won't show you that. I'm not afraid, basically because there's nothing on it. Handing cash. KD doing his daddy duties. Yes. Get on with it. Get on with it, daddy. 2-time NBA champion, that man. Lionel Plessy's in 7th place. Lionel Plessy. Yorkie boy turned up eventually. Bottas and Perez to Cadillac. Well, that could be a thing, couldn't it? But would it be a thing? I'm not quite sure. I don't think both those drivers would be a good fit for Cadillac. They want at least some kind of competitive driver there, and they haven't got it. Valtteri, let's face it, didn't do shit at Sauber, and Perez, of course, was let go. So, yeah. But, of course, Cadillac do need drivers, so maybe they will. Maybe they'll get 2 experienced drivers just for their first year, just to get them along, but I can't see it myself. They might get 1 experienced driver, but they need someone else as a hot shot in there. I don't know who it's going to be. Bottas should stay firmly away from F1. He's been rubbish for years and he'll bring nothing to Cadillac. Look at what Sauber has done since sacking him. That is actually very true. Sauber have done so much better since they got rid of Valtteri Bottas. But that may be because they had to spend most of their money on his contract. Because don't forget, they got rid of Bottas, didn't they? So they could bring George Russell in. So once he'd left Mercedes, he was quite a hot property. So he would have been, demanding a good wage. I think, didn't he sign for 3 years for 6 million or something? I can't remember. I just got 6 million in my brain for 3 years. I'm sure he signed for 3 years. So for 6 million. So maybe that was a reason why Sauber were getting held back, because they had to pay out for his contract and there wasn't a lot to, left for the car. And now, of course, they've gone. You've got Nico Hülkenberg, who probably is on a decent amount of money, but nothing, like £6 million. I shouldn't think for Nico, because he is the super sub. He's probably joined that team for probably $1.5 million, something like that. I'm pretty sure, maybe 2 million at the most, something like that. Anyway, so they've saved a bit of cash there. So yeah, that's probably why Sauber are doing a lot bloody better, because they've actually been able to use some cash to develop that car, and that car has done really well with Nico Hülkenberg. Well, it did very, very well last round because it got a 3rd position, which I'm absolutely amazed. And I think we need to clap even more for Nico Hülkenberg there. There you go. That was just an amazing result. Amazing result. From a car which, don't forget, just from the start of this season, was a back marker. It was right at the back. It was doing nothing. So well done. Well done. And I hope it continues. I hope Sauber, by the end of the year, gets some more points, because that's really going to do them well when they go to Audi next year. That, as I say, consistency is key, and if they can carry that on, should be good next year. Should be good. I've said this before, but I'm really excited for next year, because so many things are going to change. Cadillac come in, Audi are going to come in, even though they're there already because they own the team, but They're going to come in properly next year. All the I'm not going to go into that again, but all the new regulations for the cars. It's going to be a very exciting, well, for about the first 4 or 5 races, and then it'll all go to a bore fest, no doubt. But for those first 4 or 5 races, it's going to be really exciting because it's going to be a complete clean slate for everyone on the grid. All the cars, everyone, complete clean slate. I always love a huge regulation change because it just wipes the slate clean. I'll say once you get to year 5 of regulations, it gets boring because they can't do anything else. They just carry on racing. So yeah, I'm really excited for next year. I really am. Yes. Alonso retires and Newey joins him to win WEC. Then he retires. Watt still be bottom half of the table despite a podium. Bottas is the worst multiple race winner this century. Baghetti is the worst race winner of all time, probably. Champ says, at the moment, I just can't see a scenario in which Verstappen and Russell are teammates. I'm sorry, I really can't. Why in the hell should they ditch Antonelli so he can go to the disaster of a team called Alpine? I agree with you. I cannot see Verstappen and Russell together as teammates, especially considering what's been happening between Russell and Max in the past. They've had a lot of spats. It's clear that Jules doesn't like Verstappen, and probably the feeling's mutual from Verstappen's side. He doesn't like Russell either. So I can't see that gelling as teammates. That sort of brings me to the Alain Prost, Ayrton Senna together era. That didn't work either, and I can't see this partnership working. And Toto said that he's committed to Antonelli. So if that was to happen, they'd get rid of George Russell, who, as I say, still hasn't got that contract signed for next year yet. So it's all up in the air, really. Very, very strange. But I agree. I can't see George Russell. See, that's maybe why the contract hasn't been signed yet, because Toto knows that as well. Knows that they can't have Russell and Verstappen together, but they could have Verstappen and Antonelli. Yeah, so it's all up in the air. All up in the air. We don't know. Yeah, Antonelli going to Alpine. Oh my God, that would set the poor lad back about 10 years in terms of F1 if he ended up in Alpine. Really would. Oh my God. But, he's 18 years old. That could happen. You do get shunted around a lot when you're very, very young, because it's like the bosses say, yeah, he's got plenty of time to shine. He can go away and drive Alpine for a couple of years and he'll still come back. Sometimes that happens, but most of the time you end up on the Formula 1 scrap heap. Yes. So, not good. YouTube must take ages to update your XP, Will, for it to jump up so suddenly. Yeah, well, it's YouTube. It probably was ages. Or Geffin or Scaffolding could be. And once again, I've lost the chat. I hate it when he does this. Right, here we go. Because mine is jumping up randomly now. I called that Perez would go to Cadillac seat and it looks good, so I said it would happen if Horner. I was right with this one as well, as I say the most lineups could also might as well stay as it is. Yeah, I think Perez will probably go to Cadillac. It seems the popular choice, as I say, to have one experienced driver. Back in the days, that was always the thing, that you had a rookie in your team and you had an experienced driver who taught the rookie the ropes. That was always the way. Nowadays, it just doesn't work like that. But yeah, so I can see that. Paddock 69 is first again. I somehow feel this XP thing is a bit inaccurate. Probably is. Probably, as I say, it's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. It's YouTube. No one can really guarantee how strong Mercedes is going to be in 2026 as well. F1 news, Dave. I'll get on it when I've stopped reading the chat. I will be there. Matthew says beards are itchy. I agree, they are. They are very itchy. In terms of the other Red Bull seat, I see Hajar going to the call-up because it would be a totally useless to go give it back to Lawson, which has been rumoured as well while he was beaten by rookie. Yeah, I think Hajar is the obvious thing there, and this after his demotion. I should send you voice notes so AI can use it for your series. Yes, yeah, please do. If anyone wants to send me voice notes, and I will AI you, and I shall use them in the series. Now, if you send me a voice note, it'll probably be a couple of weeks before you get included, just due to the fact of the video making process. But yeah, send me a voice note. It's got to be about 30 seconds long. That makes the best AI voice capture if it's 30 seconds long. Doesn't have to be longer because it says on the website that if you make it longer, it doesn't make it any better. So 30 seconds. 30 seconds of talking absolute honk, which I'm sure for you lot is very, very easy indeed. Just like me, I can talk absolute honk for ages. I have to say, it's great to see Max Verstappen has become one of the greatest Formula 1 drivers alongside Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. Yes, indeed. And this lady also crashed her car on my way home, but she's alright. Verstappen is right there. I think Will was accurate with his energy season metaphor with the XP malarkey. Unlike his father, Jos Verstappen, who never won a race and only got 2 podiums. Yes, he did. That's because Jos was useless. And there will never be anyone like Max Verstappen or come as close to talent as him in the near future. We'll have to wait for a very long time till something like this appears. That's true. That's true. I agree with you there. It will be a very long time. Helium Trophy. Hello, sir. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry I'm late for reading the messages out, but as you can see, I've got quite a few. Quite a few tonight. He says 2 weeks of Marion Roos for me. I think he's talking about cycling there. I really must look up this Marion Roos at some point. I think I have actually looked her up. I can't remember. Palix is not F1 2 vet. Yeah, I know. He also says he watched the F1 movie, people. There you go. Jos Verstappen, the worst driver in the knockout rounds of the Formula 1 World Cup. Yes. How shit was it? Says Helium Trophy. There you go. How shit was it? Perhaps we'll get the answer in a minute. Josh wouldn't even qualify. Max Verstappen and Jos Verstappen would race for the Netherlands. It was actually okay, Helium. Not atrocious, but nothing that will be remembered for years to come. Apparently, so I heard, it's not a very good representation, or it's not doing very much for womankind, apparently, so I've heard, because there's a scene in it where the woman's the boss or whatever, and the next minute you see her and she's, how can I put it politely? I'll do it in mime. That's what I'll do. I'll do it in mime. And apparently she's the boss and she comes over very authoritative and whatever. And apparently the next minute she's... Do you get it? Do you get it? Good. So that's apparently doesn't do a very good for womankind, which I think is a bit stupid. Right, where did I get to? There he is. Fair enough, says Helium. Fisichella is the worst multiple winner this century. I, to this day, will always believe that Halo is ugly, but it does what it's meant to be fair. Yes. Grosjean would have been decapitated if the flip-flop device wasn't there. I agree, absolutely agree. As I say, he went straight through that barrier. So as I say, if the halo wasn't there, because of course it comes out at the front, doesn't it? And it's your crash, top of your crash helmet is just sort of level with the halo, isn't it? Or just above it, sometimes depending on how tall you are as a driver. But you're sort of like there, and you've got the halo bar there, and you've got the middle pillar of that bar as well, which comes down and unfortunately obscures the driver's view, but there's not a lot you can do about that. So that comes down, so that's all there like that. So imagine he went through the Armco barrier. That barrier, yeah, would have come forward. There'd have been no halo there, so the barrier would have come forward onto Grosjean's head and would probably have not to put too fine a point on it, his head would have been pushed into the back of the car. I can't see any other situation where that wouldn't have happened. His head would have, because the Armco's, because the car's very low and the Armco's sort of up just a little bit higher than the car, isn't it? So I can't see any situation where that Armco would have just gone straight onto his head, and his head would have ended up at the back of the car. So yeah, Halo definitely saved Grosjean's life there, definitely. I think the driving standards have deteriorated since the Halo was introduced. That's also true. That's also true, because you get in a situation where you think, well, I'm more invincible now, so I can take more risks. So yeah, I agree with you. Probably Helium Trophy. Top of the pot with our special host, Greg. I knew he'd get Greg Wallace in before the end. I have to say, I feel sorry for his co-host, Mr. Turode, because he always seemed like a decent guy, and he's been sacked for just one inappropriate comment. I mean, Greg had 83 of the bloody things, including touching women and everything else, but he had just one inappropriate comment apparently that he made. It was just an off-the-cuff remark, and yet no, he was sacked as well. So I do feel sorry. It's John, isn't it? John Turode. I do feel sorry for John. He's not only been thrown under the bus, he's literally going along behind it, getting dragged by the wheels, because that is just, oh my god, yeah. I don't think there's anybody on this planet that hasn't at some point in their life made at least one inappropriate comment. We've all done it, and you know, we apologise and move on. But yeah, no, under the bus for John Turode as well. He's out. He's out. Greg Wallace, yes. Oh my god, so much protesting come from Greg. It was unbelievable, and in the end, what was it? 83 things, and he got 45 quashed, but all the rest stand. Wowzers. Wowzers. The greatest of our time as usual. I think he wants people to do super chat. I think it wants people to do super chats though. Yeah, I think it does. I just like to say I'm not going to encourage people to do super chats to get to my top fans list. You'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. I mean, if you want to donate a super chat, it's entirely up to you. But I'm not endorsing it. Please don't do super chats to try and get to the top of my list. It's just something fun that you can do while you're in this. I'm pretty sure if you make a comment, you get higher up the list, don't you? So that's all you got to do. You don't need to donate a super chat. No. I say if you want to, it's entirely up to you. But I'm not endorsing it. Please don't, and please don't do it. Don't start spending money on me. I'm not worth it. Seriously. As soon as I waved the white flag to Will, it put me back ahead. How's Cockney doing? He's doing all right. Yeah, he's doing all right, he's Cockney. He's still in my cupboard out the back there. Yeah. Don't let him out no more, because he's so sexist and raised and everything, absolutely everything. I wonder if it keeps typing something, will it put me to 100 XP? It might do. I mean, yeah, give it a try. Give it a try. It'll be next week before it updates your XP. Yeah, it probably will be. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, unless I do a super chat. Yeah. Listen, if you want to try that, you can, but please do the lowest one that's possible. I think 99p is my lowest. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember if those super chats are. No, I think they're governed by YouTube, so I don't know if I've got any control with them. If you want to give it a try, it's up to you, but please donate the lowest super chat that's there possible, and please don't keep doing it. If you want to give it a try to see if you get more XP, I'll leave it with you. But please don't keep doing it. But I think the lowest is 99p. Let me look that up a minute. Oh, there you go. It's $1. $1 is the lowest super chat you can do. And the maximum super chat amount $500. Are you having a bubble bath? Are you having a 500? Who the hell's going to donate $500? Well, no one, no one here. That's for sure. Jesus. YouTube takes a 30% cut of all super chat revenue. Yes, and we get 70%. Yes. So for every pound, I will receive 70p. 70p. There you go. $500. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy, man. Crazy. Champ 92 says, I do see Perez and Schumacher being the pairing, while Zool could fill in 2 reserve roles, one at Ferrari and one at Cadillac, since they also have Ferrari their engine supply for the start. Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. Did I just say Zool? I did, didn't I? Joe, I meant. Guan Yu Joe. Zool. I see the Z and I say Zool for some unknown reason. No, that's just me. Cadillac says Patreon will have Perez and then a rookie in the other seat. Someone like O'Ward or Crawford because of their Americans connection, yeah. I keep on calling them Cadillac. They are Andretti, but actually, yeah, basically. McLaren, under normal circumstances, should keep Piastri and Norris, but you never know, right? I mean, who says that Verstappen is not also on Zach Brown's wish list for the future? I haven't forgotten theirs. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe, I don't know. Chat at Las Vegas 2024 they had. True, true. Will's gearbox has failed, says Paddock69. Hello, Mr. Polish Eddie. Welcome to the stream, so he says, heyo, Polish Eddie. Yes, 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 yes. We need a Polish Eddie Grand Prix, Eddie. Yes, we do. I'm working on a song about Christian Horndog. It's going to be lit. There you go. There you go. Let's do a bit of cross promotion here for Polish Eddie. Polish Eddie. Where's he should be here somewhere. First one to see Polish Eddie gets an apple pie. Yeah, you just got to go to Greg's and buy it yourself, but you're still getting it from the Hookster. Where are? There he is. There he is. Polish Eddie. Oh! He's changed his YouTube banner. Very good. Very good. Check out Polish Eddie, everyone. Far better YouTuber than me, I tell you. Oh my God. Yeah, far better YouTuber than me. Yeah, puts me into a cocktail. It really does. So go check him out. There's his videos. Go check out the man. He does the rap videos. Yes, go check him out. Oh wow, he's done a lot now. Done a lot. He's done a lot of videos now. There you go. Go check out Polish Eddie. Right, where did I get to? Christian Horndog. I like that. Christian Horndog. He says we do need a Polish Grand. We do need a Polish Grand Prix. Yes, we do need a Polish Grand Prix. Don't you think Jerry's done too many of them? Yes. Now, Pato stays at IndyCar, and I don't believe that Crawford is a serious option yet, but maybe in another team in the near future. I'm looking at putting a circuit in Krakow. Eddie! But we'll have to wait and see. Yes, yes. I saw the Krakow Grand Prix mentioned on the last stream. Yes, you are correct. It was. Oh, what's happening there? Oh. I've lost the chat again. There we go. Best piece of clear land I can find, basically, Eddie. It was there or Leutz. Toto should keep Antonelli, says Champ92. I mean, it could literally be a major bluff, but it's a strategy. It is. I think you should keep Antonelli. I think he's done a bloody good job. 18 years old. You think of the pressures on that kid. 18 years old, driving in a top team, basically, Mercedes. You've got to call him a top team. You can't call him anything else. And he's doing bloody well. Bloody well. So, yes, keep Antonelli. He's definitely the best rookie from this year. Yes, you could say, yeah, but he's in a Mercedes. It's going to be. The others are only in crap. Yes, I know. But still, he's doing a bloody good job. So keep Antonelli, definitely. Finishing in 10th, we come to Jules of the Russell. Watch out for those hard tyres, yes. It's all a matter of their performance clauses they have, since it's such a performance-based sport. Anything can happen, yeah. YouTube being YouTube. That's true, Dave, regarding what you said about Checo Perez and his experience. He has, but he also brings in the sponsors, has backup from his manager, Carlos Slim, too, yeah. That's going to take a long time. Legendary sight. I've been to both Krakow and Leutz. Krakow is such a beautiful place full of history. There you go. Hookster HD. Yes. Hookster HD. I can't see what the fuss is about. So I haven't seen the F1 movie, okay, so I'm just judging on what I've read about it. But yeah, apparently she was the boss, and in the next scene she's having sex. What on earth's wrong with that? People do that every single day, don't they? What? I don't see what the problem. Why is that bringing down womankind? I don't get it. Someone explain it to me. I don't know. Is having sex bad now? Is that what it is? Is it? It's a bad thing. Bad thing. Yes. Bad boy. You shouldn't be doing that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It will be a sellout, I reckon, the same way Hungary is, Eddie. Oh, I'm now second again. The top fans. Yes. Propel us to first, shall we? Yes. That gesture. You mean that gesture? It's the only way I get past the YouTube censors. Yes. There's lawyers watching me constantly, you know. There's a man in California now sitting at his desk waiting to hit the block button in case I say something that I shouldn't say. Literally sitting there going, come on Hookster, make my day. Make my day. Oh dear. That's what I always hate about, not Thursday nights. What I hate is Friday mornings. I'm waiting for that email from Google. You have been copyright. No, you've either been copyright striked, which I pretty much get every single Friday morning from YouTube, because somewhere in this stream there's some kind of copyright that goes on. True, I do look at YouTube sometimes, so that's probably from there. But yeah, I'm waiting for the one where they're saying, oh, you've been banned from YouTube. It's going to happen one day. It's going to happen one day. I do try to dance on the line, but not cross it. So I think I'm okay. Paddock says the love scene was unnecessary because she was otherwise. Oh, I see. I get it now. It was unnecessary because she was a good character. Yeah, and they just put it in there for the sake of, you know, getting the fans riled up and everyone seeing Brad Pitt's body going up and down. Yes. Brad Pitt's body going up and down. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. What is he? 87 now? I can't remember. Yes. 87? Something like that, isn't he? I know he's only 60. I'm just winding him up. Yes. Thankfully, the love scene only lasted 5 seconds and it was PG. Well, Eddie, I have to say, that's about the story of my life. 5 seconds and I'm done. Right, what's on the telly? Oh, dear. Dave will Google Marion Rouse and put, yes, I will. I will indeed. Don't worry. Halo has saved multiple other lives in my opinion. Yes, it has. It's good that Formula One has this safety tool and threat that they cared about the safety aspect a lot further than and more, yeah. Greg was taking everyone down with him. Yes, that's true. That's true. I saw him come on his Instagram, was it, with that little rant about middle-aged women or something, and I thought, that's a bit unnecessary, son, isn't it? That's a bit unnecessary. Why are you throwing middle-aged women under the bus? I don't get it. I don't get it. He just come across very, very bitter and angry. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like I always say, get their permission first. Because, you know, women, you know, they like to be... I've got to be very careful now because I'm on YouTube. Women like to be, you know... I can't. Can I say the word? I don't know. Am I going to get in trouble? Women like to be touched, if they've got their permission. You know, it's when when you haven't got the permission, that's when the problem starts. Yes, and that's what happened with Greg Wallace. Apparently, yes, he thought he was, you know, that kind of person. That kind of person. Yes, and one of those ones that used to. Drop his trousers in front of women. I've never seen the appeal of that myself. Yes, I just can't see why any woman would want to even look at my Tinky Winky. But there you go. Obviously, Greg thought, you know, his Tinky Winky was very impressive. So he constantly used to keep dropping his trousers in front of women during his TV program. Apparently, that's what I've heard. Allegedly, YouTube lawyers allegedly. But yeah, I can't. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. John shouldn't have been sacked. He's always been fairly nondescript and professional. Yeah, I agree with you. John Turode has been. I mean, he's been married to Lisa Faulkner, who I used to stalk back in the day because she was a bit of all right back in her day. Was old Lisa Faulkner? Yes, and from what I understand, John's a thoroughly decent guy. Like I say, he got sacked for one inappropriate comment. I mean, for God's sake. As I say, I don't think there's anyone on the planet who hasn't made one inappropriate comment. You know, you forget yourself for a minute, and then you think about what you said, and you think, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. Okay, that happens all the time. All the time that happens in life. You know, you'll say something inappropriate. You know, that's just being human, that is. And it was just one time. Greg Wallace, completely different story. 83 counts. That's a dirty little pervert. Okay, a dirty little pervert. But just one in a... Come on. That's just overreaction. Really is. Like I say, we've all said something stupid, fall it back. The most important thing is, as long as you learn from it, that's the most important thing. You know, you've made a mistake, you say sorry and you move on and you learn from it. That's fair enough. Greg Wallace, you can't learn from 83 counts of whatever he got up to. You know, that's behaviour. That's inset behaviour that you can't stop. You can't stop. So there's no excuse for Greg Wallace, but his partner on the show, John Turode, was one comment. That's just ridiculous. That's just, you know, that's the BBC trying to get their house in order in an extreme way. You know, shouldn't happen. So I'm very sorry to hear that John lost his job as well. That's ridiculous. But then that's the BBC for you. Well, if I knew he would be so rich, why not donate your... Well, if I knew I would be rich, why not donate you $500? Yes, $500. Please, please, please. No one donate me $500. No, please, please. Do not. Unless you're a complete stranger and you're coming on here. You've seen the YouTube videos where people come on here and donate to streamers because they've got tons of money, like Mr. Beast or something like that. That's fine, but none of you guys, please don't any of you guys ever do that sort of thing, because apart from anything, I wouldn't be able to handle it emotionally. Be a wreck. So please, no. as I say, if anyone wants to test the super chat theory out, the lowest is $1. So please feel free if you want to see if you get your fan rated up by donating. That's fine, but please no $500 unless you're Mr. Beast. If you are Mr. Beast, then please fire away because you got lots of money. No one cares. You would fall from your chair. That I would, Mr. Champ 92. I would fall from my chair. I'd be inconsolable. I wouldn't have enough tissues left. So please, no. It might be funny to watch an old man completely turn into a nervous wreck, but please, no. $1, please, maximum only. Thank you very much. Most appreciated. If you want to test out your super chat, whatever, top fan, I don't know, but please no more than that. I couldn't handle it. I really couldn't handle it. No, please, no, thank you. He's worth it, like Fifth Harmony and Kid Inc. I've seen some people donate a month's rent on some YouTube. Wow, really I used to watch this woman. She was on, well, it was late at night for me, but I think she was in Canada, so the time was like evening time, but it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And her name was Megan Yay. I don't know if it's a real name or whether it's just an internet name. But she would be streaming these games, you know, all sorts of action adventure games, stuff like that. And I was watching it one night, and this guy just straight up donated $3,000. I was like, what? I don't think that was a super chat. I think it was some other way of donating it because it says there super chat to 500. It was definitely $3,000. I was like, it's crazy, absolutely crazy, just for someone playing a game on the stream. Unbelievable. So yes, I have seen it happen, and it happened live in front of my eyes. So that's what surprised me most. I mean, I usually just like sort of sit there and watch her playing the game and sort of start to drift off, and then suddenly this message flashed up, and someone, I can't even remember his name, said donated $3,000. I mean, she was absolutely beside herself with, you know, oh my gods, and you know, thank you so much. $3,000. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Yeah, no, he is right, Champ 92. As I say, I've seen it in my own eyes. $3,000. Crazy. I'm not kidding. Someone can give thousands. Yeah, exactly. 3,000 to Megan. I think Yay is her name. So anyway, I haven't seen her stream in quite a while. I don't know whether she stopped it now. Good Lord Almighty, but yes, it is. Give me my apple pie. Apple pie for Paddock 69. Pote says there's this guy called Charles Edwards Cheese, and he goes to some Formula 1 channels during the live streams and gives them $500. Wow, really? Well, Mr. Charles Edward Cheese, if you want to give me $500 purely because I don't know you, like I've said, that's my stipulation. Any of you guys in the chat here, please no, because I wouldn't be able to contain my emotions, okay? So please no. But any strangers want to donate $500 to me, feel free, because I don't know you for Adam. But yeah, so Mr. Charles Edwards Cheese, please give me some cheese. Wow, $500. Oh my god. Well, let's put his head on coins for this thing. Lords is pronounced Woodish. How is the Hawk Tour girl doing? As far as I know, that's all. That's it for the Hawk Tour girl. Yes, I think she's done now. I think she's done. I really do think she's done. Well, it undermines her authority. Come on, Hookster, make my day. Brad Pitt is 87. I know. I know. Paddock69 says, you didn't even see Brad's body. Ah, Paddock69. That's a disappointment, isn't it, for all his fans? You didn't see his body? Oh, I see. I'm not going to watch it then. I'm not going to watch it. Bad Brad. Yes. 5 seconds and I'm done. What's on the telly? Yeah. Oh, yes. Matthew says, Gordon Ramsay faults. Yeah. Not a lot you can say about Gordon Ramsay. He's a force of nature. I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about him, no, to be honest. I can't remember. Well, he's still working, so obviously not. But yeah, there's not a lot you can say about him. He's a force of nature. He is what he is. What I do like about him is, you know, he doesn't take any crap, and that's what I like. That's what I like. So yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I say I haven't heard anything bad about him. So, I mean, obviously, there's been lots of bad stuff said about him. About, you know, he's a bully and, you know, a bit of an arse. But I'm talking about other things. You know, the type of things that, you know, I'm talking about. I haven't seen anything about that. So yeah, good luck to him. That's what I say. All I do know is he's a multi-millionaire. He's got lots of cash, so he must be doing something right. Yes. Joe Bastinich, no one likes. Okay. Would he consider Fiona Bruce middle age? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Mind you, as far as women are concerned, they're pretty much done by the time they reach 31. Oh, Jesus. It's a bit like there's no feminists watching this right now, because I'd be ritually sacrificed like a chicken right now. Yes. They'd be ripping my arms and legs off and sending me off to all four corners of England like William Wallace in Braveheart. Yes. Desperate Wallace says, Paddock, yes. Tinky Winky says, Joke 92, yes. I can see Greg being a Savile. Absolutely. I mean, the greatest thing about that is that he worked for the BBC, so, you know, he probably was, because they seem to encourage that sort of behaviour. The way you spell this out. Well, Poe is German for arse. Add that to the words of wisdom. Horner has some amazing numbers to be on. Yes, he has. Just his surname. Hi, Greg. I have. There was this beautiful German YouTuber who said this to her audience. 83 counts is crazy arse work. It is. 83 is, you know, that's a behaviour that you can't undo. That's what's happened to Greg, is that at some point in his life he did something once, whatever it was, inappropriate comment, inappropriate touching, whatever, and that's how it started. He did it once and he got away with it, and so that conditions into your brain that, oh, I got away with it once, so I can get away with it again. And of course the fact that, you know, he's from privilege, working for the BBC, getting a lot of money, so he thinks, I'm untouchable and I can get away with a lot. And so, but that's how it happens in all these cases. They get away with it once, and then it's a pattern of behaviour that continues and continues and continues. Definitely. But in the case of his co-presenter John Turreau, that's just not fair. No, as I say, no one has never said an inappropriate at least once in their lifetime, and you know, you think about it afterwards, you think, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. You apologise and move on. So no, that was the thing. But yeah, that's a pattern of behaviour, unfortunately. Crazy work. Mr. Beast is a wrong 'un, says Paddock 69. Yes, you are right. Mr. Beast is a wrong 'un. It's funny because I also speak and understand German. That's why I was having a laugh now. Should we get on with the F1 news before we all drop? Because of yeah, we are. I understand a bit of it, but I just end up saying, oh my goodness. On the F1 Word channel, Charles Edward Cheese would come up with every post-race live stream and donate $500. He also donated a few hundred to Cameron. Wow. Well done, that man. Let's all subscribe to Charles Edward Cheese. At this rate, Hookster will be up all night going through these comments. You're right, Plynal, you're right. Oh my goodness, I've been on here for 2 hours and 17 minutes, lads. Okay. He'll have a bloody heart attack. Check up on the Hawk Girl. Bad Brad. $500 is a lot of money for... It is, absolutely. I don't even get paid for it. No. Quid. Get John Turode oops on this horse. Yes, should do, shouldn't I? Should do. I'm out of here. You'll see you soon. Hit that like button. We need Jack Nichols oops on the horses. Do it, Hookster. Quid. Last sentence about the age of women in women. That last sentence about the age of women, Dave. Cops are at the door, Dave. I know. Oh dear. Paddock 43 have sent their agents after you. No doubt. I saw the Orange Man was at the Club World Cup final standing next to Chelsea players when they lifted the trophy as if he was the manager. No doubt. That's your door. Watch out. Unreal, this. Oh, my God. Anyway, that's it, everyone. I can't do the list. I've been on here for 2 hours and 18 minutes. It's almost up past 11. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You have been awesome, as always, to Mr. Rugawa, the Champ 92, Plynal Plessy. Helium Trophy was in there as well. Polish Eddie was in there. Paddock 69, of course. And Matthew D'Souza was in there. We had Shane, he was in there. Thank you, Shane, for joining me tonight. Will F1. How can we forget the legendary Will F1? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And I think we had right at the start, we had, bloody hell. Shane Paul. I almost forgot your name, Shane. Sorry. Shane was at the start, but it won't let me scroll up any further than that. But there you go. So thank you, everyone. You have been awesome. As always, quickly go through the news, at least before you go. You could see the Chelsea players unhappy with Trump being the photo. Watch Mojo. I think I've got the news laced up, actually. I'm losing my voice. I've been on here so long. Right, very, very quickly, before I go. F1 news. Max Verstappen to Mercedes deal gets green light as Horner row. It's Planet F1. Don't even bother clicking on that. Well, there is the latest F1 news, and as you can see, because it's not a race week, there's not a lot going on. Don't bother with Planet F1 or F1 Oversteer. It's all clickbait. All clickbait shit. Autosport, possibly, but it's not usually very good. But yeah, all of that, clickbait shit. Don't worry about it. There you go then. That's the F1 news. Thank you, Mr. Champ 92, for joining me. Now, before you all go, here is the final top fans result. And it is a top 10. Look at that. It is a top 10. At number 10, it's Shane Paul. At number 9, it's Helium Trophy. At number 8, he was only here for a short while, but he's got into the top 8. It's Polish Eddie. Number 7 goes to Shane. Number 6 goes to Mr. Rugara. Number 5, Plynal Plessy from out of nowhere. A late appearance, but he's gone straight into the top 5. At number 4, it's Matthew D'Souza, just one place away from a podium position. And in the podium spots, we have in third place Mr. Will F1 with 150 XP. In second place, it's Champ 92 with 150 XP. But in pole position, it's Paddock 69 with 225 XP. What the... I think there's been some Greg Wallace shenanigans going on here. How on earth did he get 225 XPs? I don't know. But anyway, This is better than doing a quiz, I'll tell you. This is better than doing a quiz. But yes, you are the winner tonight. You are the top fan with 225 XP. Well done to you. Well done indeed. And well done to everyone else as well for getting into my list. Paddock 69 is top of the pops. Yes. Does that mean I get 10 points this week? Yes. Drop to 9th. Brilliant stuff. Goodbye to TB too. Yes. Goodbye from TB. There he is. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye. Bye bye. We should have a Hookster Talks leaderboard. Yes, we should. This is brilliant. Join us next week for our special host, Jermaine. Leave it now. Leave it. Anyway, thanks everyone. Been a great night tonight. You've all been fantastic as always. Thanks for all the comments. As I say, if there was no comments in that right-hand corner of the screen, I would just stop and go away and hide in a corner and cry like Mika Hakkinen. In, what was it, Belgium, 1999 was it? Oh, anyway, yes, I'll be sitting there crying in the bushes going So thank you all for all your comments. You've been awesome as always. And yes, no Grand Prix this week, but hopefully we'll be back next Thursday. I always say hopefully just in case something happens, but hopefully I'll be back next Thursday. And who knows, someone else could get onto that top fans leaderboard. I'm not going to touch the stream. I'm going to leave it as it is. So hopefully it'll come back next week. Yes. Hopefully it'll come back next week. Or maybe YouTube will get rid of it. But yes, it's a good idea. I like it. So anyway, yeah, bye from TB the Bear as well to Champ 92. Bye-bye. And Mr. Helium Trophy Monster, you'll go and cry like you used to. Yes. I do, honestly. As soon as these streams finish, I get this high euphoria and then suddenly it crashes down and I'm like, I go all sad. I'm all right. I'm going to go off now and watch a film. And that keeps me going, and I'm all right. Mika Hookster, yes. Dave Hakkinen in the bushes. That's me to a T. Anyway, that's it. I've got to go now. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome as always, and I'll catch you next week for another Hookster Talks. Thank you, awesome people. See you next week. Bushes. Brilliant comeback. Yes. Thank you very much, everyone, and good night.